Hey folks, my name is Rene Enriquez and you are watching Uncensored.
This is Rene Enriquez. Nickname Bootser. Black Hand of the Mexican Mafia. Prison gang politics.
Hey folks, my name is Rene Enriquez and you are watching Uncensored. So we're going to skip ahead here in the sequence, right? Because what we showed the other day was the initial process of the debrief of Perico Rocha, the individual depicted here. But I have so many videos on Perico, I wanted to get to some juicy stuff, right? Like I was talking to my editor earlier, he said, jump to the juicy stuff. They love Perico, right? So here you go. You love Perico? More Perico. You ever hear that song? Periquito, Periquito. That's it right here. So we're getting to this, right? We're going to get to the heart of the matter. We're going to go back. I just wanted to give you something really detailed, really powerful. This is about an elimination here. He's going to talk about eliminating somebody. And this is a major part of the debrief. And I wanted to talk about this because been a lot of comments about content creators and their debriefs. And when I make a statement, I'm not directing it towards anybody. If I'm going to say something to somebody, I'm going to say it directly to them. I'm not going to go through YouTube to do it. I'm not going to do it in a comment. I'm not going to do that. I don't play that crap, So I'm telling you about the debriefing process. And what you're seeing in Perico Rocha right here is the way it's done. You write a biography that details your entire life. And then you talk about every criminal act you participated, know of, that may know of, that occurred at your facility, everything. It just entails everything. So whatever anybody has to say about their experience, that's their experience. I'm not commenting on that. I'm not going to do that. So please don't ask me to do that. I'm talking about my knowledge, my experience with debriefing, and what I know it to be. And what you're seeing here is a real debrief, right? And this is a Mexican Mafia member for all you latecomers, anybody who hasn't seen the content. This is Ralph Guy Rocha, Mexican Mafia member who was released from federal prison, the Metropolitan Detention Center in downtown LA, after being indicted for the stabbing of an individual in Lompoc. In fact, it was Tommy Moreno that did it. I watched the video when he did this. Perico slaps the guy. Then Tommy Moreno stabs him. They take him in a cell and they stab him, right? So he beat this case representing himself in pro per. He had previously been doing time on RICO activities, and he was indicted soon in close proximity to his release date, right, on this case by the FBI and prosecuted by the United States Attorney's Office. He represented himself in propria persona by himself. He was his own attorney. And he beat the United States Attorney's Office. Freaking pulled a rabbit out of its hat, right? Pulled a rabbit out of his hat. And here he is now. He gets arrested for this extortion of this woman. We're recapping here. And he's flipping. There's no other way to put it. He flips, right? And here we go. We're going to start this debrief now. It's extensive. It's long form content. What you guys love. I'm giving you what you love, right? Here you go. I got to tell you, before we even start this is a freaking humdinger. Humdinger, folks, for a Wednesday.
All right, we're rolling. It is Monday, January 11th, 2010 at 1940 hours. I'm Francis Hardiman. Chris Brandon's here. Steve Case is here. What's your name, sir?
Ralph Guy Rocha.
And what's your date of birth?
2/11/67.
All right, we're here to talk to Mr. Rocha about his involvement in a criminal enterprise called the Mexican Mafia. Ralph, we talked a little bit before we started about you had a couple things in your head. This is kind of a preliminary. We're going to end up talking to you more than this, obviously. So why don't you go ahead and begin with the? You said there was a murder that you wanted to tell us about.
Yeah, there was a murder. What, he went the whole story, how it came down, or just what happened?
From the beginning to the end.
Start to finish.
Kind of. Well, it was like there was an issue with George Bustamante.
Okay.
He took off, or he started doing things. I don't know what he was doing. He was doing things, and then
George Bustamante is a Mexican Mafia member by the name, his alias is Buckethead, right? He's been in the hat a few times. There's some question as to his status, but he's talking about an incident that occurred with him now.
Tawas, and then from Florencia, I guess send word out to Marcos and them that are in Florencia that not to leave Jorge alone, and that whatever me and Cisco are doing to support us, because Jorge was running around, I guess, stepping on a bunch of people's toes. Supposedly Marcos showed him that kite. I don't know if he got mad or whatever, so he never came around. Marcos again. We ended up coming around and seeing him here and there when he'd have issues, whatever.
When you say him, who do you mean?
Marcos.
Okay. Do you know Marcos' last name?
No, I don't.
Do you know where he's from?
Florencia.
Florencia.
So, anyways, I guess Jorge, they were having issues over there that we weren't really familiar with, but I guess Jorge sent some guys around to try and kill Marcos or do something to him, because he wasn't complying, or the little group that...
1 second. When you say Jorge, you mean
George.
Okay.
Yeah.
So George Bustamante and Jorge are the same guy.
Yeah.
Okay. Do me a favor, because normally when guys talk about these kind of things, there's so many people involved. Try not... Do you know what a pronoun is? He, she, we, they. Try not to use pronouns. So when you say, instead of saying he, say George, or that kind of thing.
Or say they, them. Actually, this is for evidentiary value. Francis Hardiman is very astute. He's thinking about this video being evidence and being shown to a United States attorney and a district attorney. Like when you're on the stand and you identify somebody and you say the person sitting at the table. Can you identify him by what he's wearing? Can you point to him? They want to make sure that this has clear evidentiary value and there's no ambiguity about what you're saying. So Francis is trying to get him to be concise about and identifying the people he's speaking of.
And try to use the same, try not to say George and Jorge, because then somebody else who might not be as familiar with this, because when you say Jorge, I know who you're talking about. Okay, but if somebody else is listening to this, they're not going to know who you're talking about if you jump in between. So I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, so where was I? George sent people around to get Marcos, and he had got a hold of us. Did he get a hold of us?
Who got a hold of you, Rob?
Marcos. Okay. No, actually, yeah, he did. He got a hold of.
He is a personal pronoun.
I'm thinking of his name. I know. Art. He got a hold of Art from the House Lounge to get a hold of me, that he wanted to talk to me, that he had an issue. So that night, me and Cisco were going to go see Mike up in Fresno. So we were happy to meet at the House Lounge to go from there. So...
Do you remember roughly what time that was? Or what month? Or what year?
Once I tell you, and I guess you find out where the body is, or where they found it out, it's about that time. I don't know. So,
was it this past year?
No, this year. Yeah.
Oh,
last year. 09.
Okay.
So anyways, we met there. We were going to go. Art told us that that Marcos wanted to talk to us. So we went down there to the tattoo shop. The tattoo shop on Slauson and Atlantic. Anyways, we went to the tattoo shop, and so we asked him what's the problem. He said some guy, I forgot his name, that they were looking for him, and that they knew somebody, though, that could get a hold of him to talk to. I don't know that. I forgot the guy's name.
I'm confused now. You're at the tattoo shop. Who are you talking to?
To Art. And while Marcos comes, so we're talking to Marcos.
Okay, so it's you?
It's me, Art, Cisco, Marcos. We're talking about it.
Okay.
He's telling us what happened. That this guy's...
And Marcos is telling you...
Yeah, about this guy's running around his neighborhoods, or sending word out that he's supposed to be looking for him to smoke him. that he's supposed to stay away from George's stuff, that George is the man out there and he's moving around in South Central. So he's like, what's up? Tawas told me to get at you guys if you got problems. We're like, yeah, he can't be doing this.
So the individual he just mentioned, Tawa, is a Mexican Mafia member by the name of Robert Marin from San Diego, federal Mexican Mafia member, a well-known guy. They just call him the barber because he had a barber shop out in San Diego, right? And he cut hair, right? It's kind of like his cover. That was his day hustle, but he was a mobster all behind that.
I mean, what the hell is he doing? So he's like, wow, they had somebody, I forgot who it was, that could get a hold of him. The guys that Jorge had running around, looking around for him. So you knew the guy. You mentioned the murder to me. I think it was from 38.
Okay.
That one guy, he was there. He brought him. The one who died. You said they found him.
I didn't mention any murders to you. I haven't.
Yeah, one of you guys did when we got arrested. When I was in the thing, you had mentioned a murder. The guy that was on Alondra.
Yeah, we did actually.
Okay, who was that? Anyways, you know who I'm talking about, right?
Okay.
They were gonna bring him, so they went and met him at Denny's or somewhere, and they brought him to where we were at the tattoo shop. I wasn't really tripping on this because my mind's going to Fresno. I figured it's an issue they're gonna work out. So I'm letting Marcos kind of spearhead it, and he's like, yeah, he's talking about it. I remember that day too. He got a phone call that his niece had got molested by some fireman up in the mountains. They found her, so he was all hot when he got that phone call. He's like, yeah, you know what happened? Wow, 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 blah, 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 blah. I'm like, all right, fucked up. So he started saying, they're burning her and all this stuff. So anyways, they're not bringing these guys to that guy that they had, that brought him. I don't remember his name. I don't know who he was. They went to the...
I know this is difficult to listen to because he's not linear. He's not from point A to point B. He's shooting all over, right? And you gotta understand they're letting him say it in his words in the manner in which he can say it. On the stand, this will be completely refined. It'll be a line of questioning that takes him from point A to point B. This is just him free flowing on his recollection on an elimination.
I don't know where it was, at Denny's, 7-Eleven, somewhere right there on Atlantic. They picked him up and they like lost him, whoever they came with, so they couldn't find where he was coming to. And they brought him to where we were at. So when he's there at the tattoo shop, they come in. As soon as they come in, both of the dudes, we pat them all down, search them, take off the phones and all that. And we tell them, what's up? We heard that you guys are working for Jorge and that you're supposed to be doing this. You're running around saying things about Marcos. And they're like, nah, denying it all the way. So Marcos is like, nah, I heard you guys coming around here and telling homeboys, disregard me, this and that. So... this guy owns when he was around, he used to own a water shop. I think he's from San Fernando. A water, some type of thing, something to do with water, I remember that. And a restaurant. The one main guy that they had the issue with. Then there was the other guy, but it ended up being resolved that there wasn't nothing really going on with him. Because I was just kind of sitting in the tattoo chair, just listening to everybody talk. Just let him go. He was bringing this up, that up. And Marcos was talking to him about messing up, coming around the barrio and this and that. So this guy gets to go. They said, all right, go ahead and go. This other guy, the one that owns the water place, cuff him up. You know what I mean? We're like, wow, so what's up? You know Jorge, right? And you've been collecting feria, getting it and giving it to Jorge. This guy said he was working for Mosca. He's like, nah, it's all Moscas and that. So we make him call on the phone to his compadre.
So the Mosca they're talking about is Mike Torres, the individual who was eliminated in the recent past in prison. Mexican Mafia member, right? This is how convoluted these cases are, right? You have 3 Mexican Mafia members involved here. George Buckethead from Venice, Mosca from San Fernando Valley, him, and Cisco. That's Perico Rocha from Norwalk and Cisco from Puente, right? There's 4 brothers involved in this now. And you just caught what he said, we cuffed him up. That does not sound well for that guy. Call me crazy, but you come to a Mexican Mafia meeting and they cuff you up. That doesn't sound like it's going to end pretty, but I could be mistaken. Well, let's hear it out.
to get 100 G's. You tell me, well, you want to get out of here, you got to get 100 G's. You owe that feria. So he's like, well, I've been doing that, this, that, and the other. And we're like, no, you've been doing it. So Art starts beating him up, putting on some black gloves, starts hitting him in the face and stuff. Lays him on the ground because he's bleeding. And it tells him, well, who got some money? You're going to kick in the money. You've been collecting money for a while under Jorge's name, which is a no-no because it's not even Jorge's. And he's like, nah. We're like, well, you own a business. You own the water place, you own the restaurant. It's like, the restaurant ain't doing that good. And Cisco's like, well, sign over the restaurant. And he's like, well, it ain't doing that good, blah, blah, blah. So anyways, we're sitting there thinking, well, what the fuck? I'm telling him, what's going on here? You know what I mean? So he's like, well, call Jorge. So he's denying that he got anything to do with Jorge. So we tell Marcos and that other dude from 38, the bigger dude, to go get the money or go find the compadre that brought him, that was supposed to be driving around looking for him. They take off while we're in there talking to him. Art's beating him up, just like kidding him, well, who got some money? Somebody got some money. He's like, nah, nobody got some money. So I'm like, fuck, this is going nowhere. So I'm like, fuck it. Call Marcos and them back. So Marcos and that dude comes back. I forgot his name. The one from 38, kind of big, stocky dude.
Okay.
He always is dressed real flashy. So he comes back and they come, well, actually they don't come back. They come back, but they go to, we're telling to meet us at Jack in the Box. So we go to the Jack in the Box. And we're like, man, what the fuck? This dude ain't doing nothing. He ain't giving up nothing. This is your issue. You know what I mean? He's like, yeah, nothing's padding out, so this is your issue, so, you take care of it. I mean, dude's over there at the tattoo shop, Art still got some, you guys work it out. So it's Marcos, that dude, and one of his homeboys, a short one, I don't remember his name. So they take off back, and whatever they do, we take off, man. Cisco goes his way, I go my way, and then, like the next day, I think, or no, about 2 days later, or 3 days later, when I ran into Art again, they said that they found that dude dead.
Where'd you guys go after all that? Did
I
you
went
keep
home.
going? You blow off the trip to Fresno?
Yeah, we blew off the trip to Fresno because all this shit happened. We're like, fuck. I told him, I'm going home. You know what I mean? I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen here, and I'm just going home with the family. And I guess he went home too. We were supposed to go. We sent Bandit. We sent Bandit up there, and we told him to tell him what to tell him. Actually, we sent him up there because there was some dude, Beamer, had paperwork on him, and he was running with Mondo. And we told Mondo to handle him. Mondo said, yeah, I'm going to handle him. He never did. Paperwork. We had paperwork on him that he testified.
And
we had a
this was on
statement.
The guy that was...
No, Beamer, this is the guy that runs with Mondo. So we told him, we told Mondo to handle it. He never did. It was like 2 weeks later, we heard he ended up going to court. Him and that guy caught a court in Santa Barbara, I think it was. We heard they went to court, and then we heard they came back, so we're like, what's up? You're supposed to handle it. Oh, boy, you're running with him. That's your right-hand man. He's like, why doesn't he give me $100? Dumb stuff, over Mickey Mouse money. So we sent Bandit up to go tell Mike, hey, Mondo ain't doing this, so, if you do him, we'll make you a brother. Tell Mike, what's up with that. So is that cool? So I seen Bandit when he came back. I met him at...
Let's stop the presses. Did you hear that? If you do him, we'll make you a brother. That is not how you get into the clica. This is an indication of the corruption of the process. And let me say something about the previous clip we ran on Perico. He mentions Gibby. Yeah, folks, that's Gibby the Weasel. That's his padrino right there. That's his sponsor, right? So here's Perico offering to make guys for doing hits, right? They're going to make this guy Bandit or the guy that's running with Mondo, and they want him nailed because they have paperwork on him. And they offer a membership for the elimination of this guy, which is completely unheard of, right? Not that it hasn't been done before, but not in my era. You couldn't get in that way.
Bob's big boy in Colton. And he said that Mike said, nah, just hold off on that. So that was that.
No, Mike who you're referring to? Mike who?
Mike Boo.
So when they're referencing Fresno and Mike, that's Mike Moreno, a part of the Moreno dynasty, right? Mike Boo. We've done pieces on him before on Uncensored, and we'll do some in the future. But that's who they're talking about, Mike Boo. And Mike Boo is really level-headed, really conservative, really reserved. He doesn't fly off the handle. He's not quick to have guys whacked. That's just the way he is. I mean, you've listened to his phone calls. He's very conservative, very well liked, and that he says that Mike tied off on it doesn't surprise me at all. He's not gonna jump just because a carnal says jump.
Mike Moreno
From where?
from Norwalk, but he lives in Fresno or Salinas up there somewhere.
Why does he live clear up there?
That's where he's always lived.
Always?
Mm-hmm. Mike, Pelon's brother, Tomas's brother, Moreno's.
Do you know Art's? Who's Art?
He's the one that runs the house lunch.
Do you know his last name?
No, I don't.
What neighborhood is Art from?
He's not really from nowhere.
Just runs the house
No.
lunch.
And Marcos is from Florencia, but you don't know his last name or anything
No.
like that. Is that what they call him, or is that his real name?
I don't know. That's how I met him. That's what I've always called him.
Okay.
And then they said that guy that I guess that got killed was in retaliation for that guy that Marcos and them I guess supposedly killed. The one he was from 38. I don't know. I forgot his name. See, that's one thing you got to remember. A lot of things I wouldn't be real at the moments and them times I wasn't into, collecting all that data. Okay, what's your name?
Right.
What's your first name? What's your last?
Right.
I'd meet them and I'd take it as that on whatever they told me their name was. Cool. I'd find out, see about them, hang around them, and just run with that. And as far as them dudes right there, I really didn't pay it no mind. It kind of wasn't my issue. I was just kicking back. I was there listening to it. He brought us because it involved Jorge and Tawas from Florencia, the carnal. He's like, well, what do you want me? We're like, well, that's your issue. You know what I mean?
No, I get it now. I get it. It's not Tawas from Florencia. It's Tablas. He's mispronouncing it. So the guy identified, because there is a Tawa. That was Robert Marin from San Diego, right? He's deceased now. But he's talking about Tablas from Florencia, right? And this guy Marcos they're talking about, I've done his calls. In fact, we might run some calls on him because his name popped up here. I have some calls on him. I'd worked on Operation Epatrese. And the point he's making about not paying attention to people's names and their monikers and the dates and all that, I didn't do that. As a carnal, I didn't do that. Like, there were certain carnales like Güero Sherm and Dopey, Droopy from Compton. They kept notes. Crazy, they kept notes. And all this stuff, they had it all in their little data bank, right? I don't know why. I know why Droopy did it, because he flipped, right? He was planning to flip. But I don't know why Sherm did it, and he does, right? I didn't. Because there's so many hundreds of people that you meet in conversations that you have, all these gang members. It's impossible. It's just overload of data, right? So for me, if you weren't that significant, I wasn't remembering anything. And even some of the significant stuff I forget about. So, I get the position he's in right now. He's dealing with so much stuff, it's hard to remember the minutia.
So who had the problem initially? What was the problem?
The guy was coming around for Jorge trying to collect money from people.
Where?
In Florencia, right there, South Central. He was going through Harpies too, and just different
Who was
spots.
he collecting for?
For George.
He's collecting
Yeah.
That soft-spoken individual in the background is Chris Brandon. The other voice you hear, not Francis Hardiman's, is Steve Case. I know all three of those gentlemen. I've sat down with them, interviewed with them, worked cases for them. I know them really well. Good men, all good men. You guys may say, oh, they're effing cops, but good men. They are good men. And you got two of the best experts, three of the best experts right there in the Mexican Mafia. They all work cases, right? Chris Brandon's been doing it for 20 years. He's retired now, obviously. So is Francis. But Steve Case is still around. He's still working it.
Who had the issue with that?
Tawas, and then because he was trying to move all into the South Central area and stuff.
For George.
No, Tawas from Florencia. The Carnal Tawas from Florencia. He's arrested.
Yeah.
I think he's up in the bay, and then George is running around out here, running around and just has a little crew running around, getting from everybody.
And this guy that was killed was working for George?
It was supposedly work for George.
And he was taxing in Valencia's area?
They were moving around, and then just moving around, I guess, areas and spots that Marcos was looking over for Tawas, and they heard that he was trying to like overlap in the spot. So I guess that was the problem there, that he was moving in, because Jorge was trying to move into everybody's spot.
But why did you get involved? Why did you and Cisco get involved?
Well, he just called us to say, hey, that this dude's, could we talk to him? You know what I mean? And tell him to back up. That Jorge let him know, because the word was out there already that Jorge's no good. So
Why would they come to you for that situation? If
we're
it was Tawas
Carnales.
area?
Stop the presses. Jorge is no good. George Bustamante, Buckethead, is no good. This started when they put George on status. He may still be on the list or not on the list. Depends on the current temperature of politics in the mob and who you ask, right? But I'm going to show you these documents on George Bustamante, and this is why he is considered being no good. He debriefed for the FBI. It's documented here in an FBI 302. The document is titled a 302. Anytime there's an encounter with an individual that they interview, they document it on a 302, FBI 302. And his name's all over this, right? You'll see it for yourself. This is when Buckethead was on the list, may still be on the list, and when everybody started talking about him being a rat, an informant, right? He was an informant. And the DEA also have a form. It's called a 6, SIX, right? It's the same type of form that they use to document encounters with individuals or information that they want to preserve. So here's a document. This is why George Bustamante is on the list or was on the list, depending on who you ask. And this is what he's speaking of now. And George Bustamante was creating quite a ruckus by encroaching on territory. He's going into areas that don't belong to him, sending people to collect money.
We're Carnales, the huila that he had got from Tawas was whatever Perico and Cisco want, support him and do whatever. So, like I say, he's looked at us as talking to us. And we've been going around there a lot anyways.
That was a guy from
Tawas, yeah. Tawas, Tablas from Florencia.
Oh, Tabla.
Yeah.
There we go. I knew it was, as soon as he said Pelican Bay from Florencia, this is Tablas, and he's confusing Tawas and Tablas, right? So there's that clarification. We just identified Arturo Castellanos from Florencia. This was during Operation Epetrece 1, the ATF investigation into Florencia and Tablas Castellanos.
Oh, Castellanos.
Yeah.
Okay. And he gave kind of like the blessing for you to take care of the situation?
No, he just told Marcos that if they had a problem or if we had problems, to support us, basically. Because all that stuff that came out in the paper and all that, everybody was like, that's all bullshit.
You mean the stuff in Lola or what?
Yeah, all that.
Right.
So a lot of Carnales, I guess, were getting at their homeboys or dudes they had running for them, like, hey, that's all bullshit. Support them, whatever they need, whatever they say. And if you need you got an issue or something, bring it up to them.
So when they had an issue with this guy that eventually got killed, they went to you to kind of act as a what? Like
I guess a mediator, yeah.
As from the organization or as,
As a mediator, but also to let him know, because a lot of people weren't understanding that Jorge was to be disregarded, to be he's in the hat. He got a lot of people mad. So a lot of people were still, unclear about that. So I guess they wanted us to make it clear to him. So
Why was George in the head?
there was a rumor going, he was just stepping on everybody's toes,
Taxing? Or?
Yeah, taxing,
Oh,
going
no,
around
taxing.
and not sending nobody no money. Campeon, all the Carnales that he said he was sending money to, supposedly to Cisco, they were complaining he wasn't getting nothing. So Cisco kept telling me, you know what, ain't nobody getting nothing. So that, and then he started using, and he just started running, doing his own thing. You know,
So this guy that was delving into other people's areas, Tablas' areas, right? He was...
actually, tablas and Güero Caballos.
So he was like collecting money that wasn't his? Is that...
Guero Caballo is George Gonzalez from 18th Street. He's recently popped up in the news for running a crew in 18th Street. His wife was arrested. So this is who you mentioned just now.
Is that what's going on?
Yeah, well, they had a little crew, and I guess he was one of the major influences of the crew.
Okay, so what does the crew do? Does the crew collect money?
Yeah,
Do
they
run
collected
doors,
money.
run move towns?
No, it's
And They were
money.
doing it in an area that they weren't supposed to?
Yeah, they
Is
were
that
just
correct?
moving into areas they weren't supposed to.
So what was the penalty to that?
They killed him.
That's the penalty? I mean, is it something they decided, or is it something like they came to you? Because, you know,
It wasn't really decided. It was just like, you know, when he
It
came.
is, or how? Just,
No, when he came, you know, beat him up, tried to get some money. He didn't have no money. And then when we seen Marcos and the homies and them at Jack in the Box, we're like, "That's your issue, Holmes. Handle it."
what does that mean?
That's exactly what it was. Just handle it.
But in your world, your organization, when you say handle it,
That's Steve Case.
What do you tell them to do?
what does that mean?
That pretty much probably, you know, smoke the dude.
That's what they're trying to get out of him, right? He doesn't want to say it. Like when he said handle it, he's given authorization to eliminate the guy. He just gave it. He doesn't want to acknowledge that. They just brought it out of him. Did he authorize the elimination of somebody right there? The guy that ended up being found, expired, he approved it.
Did I understand you correctly? The guy that was killed, did he tell you that he's working for Mosca?
Yeah, that's what he tried to say.
So when
I don't know if that was true or not.
So he's
No.
just lying through his teeth.
I don't even know. You know, like I said, I didn't really dive in, and I wasn't in there digging all kinds of information. I was kind of just chilling, hearing. I figured, you know, see what's up with this dude, see if we get some money, get this shit straightened out, let him know Sasuke Jorge's no good. Stay the hell away from him. Don't do nothing for him. You know, these dudes were supposedly saying they're running around trying to kill Marcos, so I figured Marcos had an issue with it anyways, you know.
Does anybody know for sure where he was from or who he was collecting for, if anybody?
I'm sure I could find out. Those things, like I said, I just wasn't real, you know, I wasn't in the MO of taking names and all that. I do remember he said he owned some water distiller or something where they sell water, and he owned a restaurant.
What about little George being no good? Where did you hear that from?
The Carnales sent it down. Actually, I think it was Terco from 18.
Were those the same Cardinales that said that you were no good?
No.
Terco from 18, there is no Terco. There's a Terco from Bassett, and there's a Tecolote from 18th Street. So you might be confusing the two. It'll pan out here. We'll see who he's talking about.
Is this what's a different clique or what?
I don't know. It came from Colorado, from the feds.
Who's over there?
Champ,
So it's got to be Teco from 18th Street, Ruben Castro.
Terco, Güero Shy.
Terco's over there?
I think he's it. I'm not
That's it?
sure. No, not Terco. Teco.
Teco.
Tecolote.
Oh, wait, okay.
Yep, that's it. It's Tecolote. Tecolote is the Nahuatl word. It's actually Tecolol. And Tecolote is in Spanish for owl, right? So it's night owl. Ruben Castro from 18th Street. Mexican Mafia member who was an ADX at the time. That's Colorado Supermax.
Well, Chewy, I'm pretty sure is there. Or Chewy.
Mariano Martinez?
No, Chewy, I think from Hayward.
Oh, okay.
Pee Wee, everybody, you
Oh,
know.
Pee Wee Gary?
Pee Wee Gary, Negro, Sammy Villalba. There's quite a few.
Negro's over there?
Yeah.
You got stuck, didn't you?
Negro? No, you're talking about Negro.
Sammy Villalba?
No, I'm talking about Philip Segura.
Oh, Philip Zugura, okay.
That's Jesse Segura. He's confusing Negro Villalba with Jesse Segura.
There's quite a few.
But he was no good in the ice with Pelican Bay or Fed side. I'm talking about Little George.
I never really knew if it was from the Cisco did a lot of the communication with the prisons
Uh-huh.
because I stood away from writing, and I kind of just let him do that. Like, you write, you take care of that, and bring the information. He said, give me the letters and read these. Even when he used to give them to me, I remember I'd be like, well, what did it say? Give me the general outline. Because I'm like, I ain't going to read all this shit and try and decipher it. You know what I mean? So he's more or less telling me, well, there's a matter with this, or no feria's getting up there. So whatever letter he got, whatever the issue was, he just briefed me on it.
Now, Cisco was there, right, that night?
Yeah.
What was his position? What did he say? What did he do? And just sit around with us.
Actually, when we got to Jack in the Box, that was came out of his mouth, like, well, handle the dude, And I didn't really want to say nothing because the dude from 38 was sweating bullets.
You get that? He says that Cisco gave the approval to eliminate the guy. He's distanced himself from, like, he's backing away from that. He knows this is a hot one right here. This is going to get prosecuted. That's what these guys are. Homicide detectives, right? Well, Chris Brown is the task force guy. Steve Case is the majors out of Star Center for the Sheriff's Department, Los Angeles. And Francis Hardiman, at this time, I believe, is task force. He had not yet become a homicide detective, but he does become a homicide detective. This is going to get prosecuted, folks. That's why he's backpedaling on it. Like, I didn't, not me. I didn't give that approval. Cisco did.
So that's what we're looking for. He said it.
Yeah, we're sitting on the table. Yeah, he's just like, well, handle the fucking dude.
What does that mean to you when you said it?
I took it as, smoke him,
Smoke him meaning?
kill him.
And what did Marcos and I guess Marcos and Art were there, right? Is it Marcos and Art?
No, Art wasn't there. Art was still at the tattoo shop with him.
You found him away.
Yeah, I was just there with him, and then
Remember, the individual they're speaking about right now is handcuffed, being beaten by Marcos at the tattoo shop. He's already bloodied up. He's already handcuffed. He's already being kidnapped. He's literally and figuratively being kidnapped. He cannot leave of his own volition. And once they slapped those handcuffs on him, once he said we put handcuffs on him, I knew it was done. The guy, stick a fork in him, he's done. You're not taking those measures unless somebody's not coming out of it. If he would have copped up $100K like they wanted, I think he might have skated. He might have got out of that, only to meet the same demise at a future date. But he might have walked out of that tattoo shop. But he wasn't giving up anything.
Who was with you at the Jack in the Box?
me, Cisco, Marcos, that dude from 38, and his homeboy, the short dude, was always with him. And for the life of me, I don't even know his name, but he'd always be with him.
Oh, okay. Was that like his homie that was?
Yeah, that's like his wingman.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so do you know where the murder occurred?
No,
Do you know who actually committed the murder?
no, I don't.
Do you have an idea of who committed the murder?
If I had to guess, I'd probably say Marcos. He was pretty pissed off that night. It was kind of his issue, so him and his homeboy, I'd imagine. One of them, too.
Now, did he have a piece?
I don't know.
Was the piece given to him? Did you know?
We had guns there at the tattoo shop, but I don't know if he took any.
Guns that were under their control or your control?
Under their Arts guns.
Ours.
Okay, so in this story, essentially, there's three guys whose names we don't know, correct? There's the big guy from 38th Street who ends up dead later, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's his buddy, right?
Marcos.
No, we know Marcos' name.
Oh, the one that went there, yeah.
The short guy, right? And then the dead guy, right? The guy that ends up dead that night.
Yeah.
Do we know his name? He's the guy that owns the water shop.
Yeah, in the restaurant.
Do you know his name?
No.
Do you know what water shop he owns?
I think they said it was in San Fernando Valley.
Okay. Do you know what restaurant he owns?
No, I don't.
All right. If you saw a picture of that guy, do you think you'd be able to identify him?
I might. I'm just saying, because a lot of these things you got to understand. I'd kind of take with just like, they weren't I wasn't directly involved in them. I mean, well, of course I was involved in them, but they kind of would call us or would come around for, I guess make them feel better, or like, okay, yeah, you're doing the right thing, or we got this issue. Is it all right if we proceed? Yeah, go ahead. And
Okay.
we'd be there. So
When when this guy whose name we don't know, all right, there's an issue with him. He's at the tattoo shop, correct? He ends up getting handcuffed. Okay. How many rooms are in this tattoo shop?
there's a bathroom. And I don't know if there's that back room right there, but I know there's probably two: the bathroom and then the back. But I don't really consider it a room.
So is there like a front room where they do tattoos,
Yeah.
a bathroom, and then kind of like a back room?
Yeah, well, actually, you walk in and then you got the little scene area where you see all your tattoo stuff that you might want to get, all the patterns, and they got the chairs,
Okay.
and then the bathroom right there. Then you can walk out the back
Okay. Now, when this guy got handcuffed, where was he?
sitting down on the sofa.
In the main room,
Yeah.
like right when you walk in. Okay. Are there windows or anything like that, or is
No,
it
there
just...
was a Chinese thing, the Chinese thing that you get dressed behind. There was
Yep.
one right there they put in front of the window.
Okay. So they handcuff this guy and they start beating him up.
Not right away.
Not right away. No, I know. Eventually they
Yeah.
get to the point where he's not giving them the answers that they want. They handcuff him.
Actually, we're asking him questions, and when he's not answering them, then Art hits and says, "You better answer 'em."
When you say we, were you and Cisco both
Yeah.
asking questions?
Yeah.
Okay. Did he bleed when he was there?
Yeah,
Where?
from the nose.
Okay. Did he bleed on the floor?
Yeah, he put a towel under it though, under his face.
Uh-huh.
Why did Francis Hardiman ask that question? Did he bleed on the floor? And then Ralph Rocha responds, yeah, but he put a towel under his face. Why did he ask that question? Ask yourself that, right? Think like a prosecutor. Think like a detective. There are going to be traces of that person's body via DNA and blood on the floor. Regardless, use bleach, whatever. Luminol's going to bring it up. They're going to test it. They're going to find that victim in that shop.
Okay. Who was doing the punching of this guy?
Art.
Okay. And this was initially this was to, hey, we're gonna get $100,000 out of this guy because he's got the restaurant and the water shop, and he's doing these things for George Bustamante that he shouldn't be doing.
Yes.
Correct. Okay. And this word had come back from Tablas.
No, that was something that Cisco and I kind of just took on ourselves. We were there. We had him.
Okay.
So, because this is so long, this is an hour long, folks, I'm going to end this here. I think that this is a freaking humdinger. I'm even fascinated. I'm staying quiet because I want to see what's going to come out of his mouth next, right? We're talking about an elimination here, folks. He's implicating this fellow Carnal Cisco from Puente. What was Cisco's name? Gonzalez. Gonzalez. I can't remember his name right now. I'll pull it up somewhere. But we'll show you graphics of all these folks. We'll show you everything, right? And what I'll do is we'll drop this Wednesday, obviously today. You're seeing it today, and the second half of this will drop on Friday, right? Or soon thereafter. But I'm thinking Friday, right? Little cliffhanger for you folks. You're too damn spoiled already, so got to make you wait a little bit. And we made it long form for you, so this is a lengthy piece for you on a Wednesday. So we're making up for the twofer. We're making them long. You're going to be getting long form content as much as we can bring it because we enjoy telling you these stories, and these videos tell a story. With the personal knowledge and the interactivity and the supporting documentation, they're painting a picture for you. This is how it works, folks. This is how it works, and this is a real Mexican Mafia member debriefing with task force guys. And I hope you enjoy. I hope you enjoyed this content. As always, stand by for the next part of this video, which will drop on Friday. As always, stay safe. Peace out.
This is Rene Enriquez. Nickname Boots